Well, hello and welcome to the Cosmic Echo Tarot Experience, a reading which connects cycles, historic cycles, modern cycles, just cycles of frequency through your repeating tarot energy. You call it your life. You and your life really are an echo or echoes of past energy. Now, what we experience, we think of as new because we're very myopic. But they're not new. We experience ancient energetic frequencies. There's nothing new. A slightly adjusted version, but the frequency, the energy stays the same. They have been repeating again and again and again for hundreds or thousands or millions of years. Again, we see them as new, but they're not. They're just this little slice right now, right in front of us. Each life is an echo of the last time. So, using tarot as a tool, and I've done tarot for over 20 years, found out it really does not predict anything, at least from my experience, but it is the science of potential, your potential to choose, your potential to create. Once I find the tarot energy, I locate the current frequency. Once I find it, I use other tools to help tell the story, which allows you to manifest your spiritual kryptonite. That's what it is. Creating images in your own mind, in your own imagination, from within you, not into some sort of tech piece, desktop, laptop, smartphone, AI. No, from inside you, going out into the world. That's the way the energy should work, from you to the outside. The tarot energy is the destination of this reading. This is where we're headed, but it's a two-step process because I want to do more than simply give you this tarot energy. Oh, here it is. You're on your own now. I don't do that. Don't do that. I begin with three cards, three tarot cards. Each card has its own frequency, but I blend them to begin to tell the story, to begin to allow your imagination to take over, to really focus on the destination of the reading. The three tarot energies blended into one, which reveals your manifesting potential. I use the astrology and imaging, could be from the past, could be from the present, whatever, to help you imagine the essence of that tarot energy and how to use the repeating tarot energy in the best way possible to empower you. Now, the information has to be simple, clear, and powerful. I don't have time for fantasies or unicorns or rainbows or any kind of woo-woo space. I don't do that. What I do with the three cards into one is help you to reveal the matrix in your life. We all have our own matrix. Yes, there's the societal matrix, but we also create a matrix within ourselves in the repeating cosmic cycles, bringing in ancient frequencies into our lives, subconsciously, maybe, spiritually, certainly. But the idea is to use the repeating tarot energy in the best way possible, right? Remember, it's about your choice, it's about your potential. You choose what you're going to do with that tarot energy. That's why I treat it so importantly. I don't throw a lot of cards out there, that just muddies the water. Three cards. There's a magic in three. Tesla believed in it, other people believe in it. Three cards, one energy, clearly defined. And knowing the repetitive energetic patterns around you, well, that enables you to use these ancient frequencies to your benefit. Think of what we're doing here as kind of GPS, cosmic GPS. We got the destination, the tarot energy. We're using the astrology, numerology. By the way, I've done astrology for over 50 years. Can't even believe I'm saying it. But nevertheless, the reason I use astrology is because astrology is the science of cycles. So is numerology. Cycles upon cycles upon cycles upon. I mean, it just gets to be crazy. But if you can catch the pattern, it's very powerful juju used with your refined tarot energy. So think of it as your destination and the map to get you there. This unique package helps you to activate your spiritual kryptonite. Ride this cosmic wave so that you can be the best person that you possibly can be. Does that mean rich, successful, beautiful? Not necessarily. I really believe, and I don't have any solid information to back this up, but my feeling is, my choice to believe is, there is a spiritual dimension. In that spiritual dimension, we're plugged into the universal intelligence. We're ultimately wise. That's the 5D. But to grow spiritually, we have to go to the 3D, where we are right now, living human life on planet Earth. In that transition, we lose a lot. We forget that we have a spiritual plan. So we're chasing money, we're chasing fame, we're chasing all these material things, forgetting what the true purpose of our life is. We determine that in the 5D. And that's what our life, I believe, I'm choosing to believe, is all about. Reconnecting with that 5D commitment. And this is what the packages aim to do. Today, we're talking about coming to the edge. And you really have no choice. If you're paying attention at all, most people, by the way, are not. One, it's overwhelming. Two, people are lazy. But if you're paying attention at all, we are literally on the cutting edge of a major changing event with humanity. I mean, it's nose to nose. Certainly between now and 2030, at the latest, we are going to, in some way, finally determine where humanity fits in. Or do we? If it's man and machine, machine wins? Does man win? Do we coexist right now? Well, 2026 to be sure, it's really going to hit. So this is a time where you personally have to come to the edge. You got to poke the bear. You have no choice. There's too much in line, too much at stake. And so you have to develop the courage, very difficult for human beings to do, but you have to develop the courage to go for evolution and revolution and change what looks like destiny. What looks like destiny. Man and machine, will they merge? Will they coexist? What's a 2026 is going to start us on that path. And right now, machines are winning, but you are seeing around the world people beginning to wake up to what's really going on. They're beginning to smell the coffee. And they're going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, this is the message of this reading. Poke the bear. Come to the edge in your life. You do that with your life, you will encourage other people to do that with their lives, and they will in other ways encourage other people. You get the idea. It builds upon itself. So that being the case, we've kind of lined it up pretty good. Let's go to cosmic cycles and kind of review what we're doing here. We know about the tarot. That's the destination, but the astrology is a kind of alchemy. It's cyclical by nature. Literally what goes around comes around. It's understanding and knowing these cycles give us the pulse of the matrix. It permits us to feel, to focus on the power of the tarot. The two work together to give you a complete experience. The combination of the two gives us a deeper power and control over our destiny. And now is the time to poke the bear. You have no choice. You have no excuses. You are out of time. The singularity is upon us. What happens with that energy? depends on you and I individually and then collectively. And I'm not talking about big government. I'm not talking about centralized government. In fact, just the opposite. I want us to break down into small groups, to smaller groups, voluntarily, not 15-minute cities that they're going to throw on us, but we choosing to work together in small groups for our safety, our security, our independence. Polk the Bear. Hey, I just want to remind you, I do have an email, tau-tarot at proton.me, tau-tarot at proton.me. Please feel free to use it to leave a line. You don't have to be friendly. You don't have to be nice if you don't want to. It's nice if you do, but it's communication, and I'm wide open. Tau-tarot at proton.me. Alrighty, so the astrology, we've talked about it. It is the path to our destination, which is the tarot energy. Let's get to it. Astro hits. The buck doesn't stop here. The phrase or the sentence, the buck stops here, was a statement made famous by President Harry S. Truman, I think late 40s, early 50s. He said, basically, the buck stops here. I'm the president. I have the responsibility. If it's screwed up, I got to fix it. It's my fault. Well, it's a nice idea, government responsibility. Certainly when it comes to our economy. When it comes to our economy, everybody passes on the economy because big business runs the economy. And because it runs the economy, like the Rothschilds said, if you run the economy, you run the government. And we're seeing it clearly today. It's how the economic cartel works, frankly. 1930, the Great Depression. Wow. We had some interesting astrological aspects. 2008, similar aspects came up. 2008, Silicon Valley. They implode. Same aspects that were in 1930 and 2008 coming up in 2030. Our economy becomes weaponized. Digital? Maybe. That's why you got to poke the bear. That's why you have to come to the edge. What do you want? If they get the digital economy, it's over. It's done. You had the opportunity. You chickened out. You're a coward. Now suffer the consequences. So right now in November, with all the planets retrograde and getting ready for 2026, 2026 is when we shift gear. Now is the time to think outside the box for the survival of humanity. Hand over our economic independence, and it is done, finished. You will have no freedom. You're going to be tethered to tech tyranny, whatever they decide, for whatever reason. They'll control us. So we need to push back hard. We need to shut the door on the idea of permanently digitizing, weaponizing our economy. They're doing it. They're in the process. Digital needs to be DOA, dead on arrival. We were talking about the buck stops here. Don't stop the buck. Feed it. Keep the money free in your hands, independent, not electronic. You control where you spend your money, why you spend your money, if you spend your money. We can't hold on to that. It's all finished from here, and you're not going to like the results. So get ready. Poke the bear. Come to the edge. Let's take a look at the existential points. I'm not going to go through all of these, but there is one that I'm going to focus on, or two, maybe three. Look at the one up in the upper right. Rothschild virtually bought the Bank of England. Indeed, they did. Back in the late 1500s, early 1600s, the King of England said, you know what, I got to go to war, but I don't have any money. So he went to the European Jew bankers and said, hey, I want to go to war. Can you guys help me out? And they said, yeah, sure, we can. We'll give you the money. We'll charge the usual interest. Usury it was called. But we're going to throw in one more thing. He said, what? We want to start our own bank. We're going to call it the Bank of England. Nobody's going to own it. We're going to own it. It's private. We'll let you in as a shareholder, stockholder, but the government will not own it. We will own it. When they did that, they gave England away. And in so doing, started to give America away. There's a whole battle with banks in the United States. Started right from day one, 1776, and it's continuing today. Except today they call it the Fed. But it's still connected to the Bank of England. And bottom left on that one page, here's a question. With all the fraud, what the hell have the oversight committees in Congress been doing for the past 20 years? Yeah, they were bought and sold. George Carlin was right. And you see clearly they don't work for us. They don't give a damn about us. They don't do anything for us. Not just the United States, all over the world. Politicians are bought by those same bankers. And finally, on that page, those who know the least obey the best. That's why our school system is the way it is. And it was designed by someone like Rockefeller. He said, I want a country of workers, not thinkers. So those who know the least obey the best, and that's the way it works. Picture Perfect says, whoa, we got a ton of stuff to look at. I would advise you to go all the way to the right. I don't know how easy it will be to read, but do the best you can. The bottom really says the most. We're not feeding the machine. We are teaching it how to remember the soul. Talking about AI, the singularity. And just for giggles, talk about what hospitals were 100 years ago, how different they are today, and something that you really should check out, 9 important facts. Number 9, death is the number one killer in the world. Kind of tongue-in-cheek, but run through all 9. I think you will find it entertaining and informative as well. Just one of those things that I saw, I said I got to add it in. Let's get to the tarot reading. This is the heart of the reading. This is our destination. We begin with the Six of Cups. Six of Cups talks about nostalgia. What it really talks about is our emotional connection to the past. We remember things as kids. We remember them very fondly for the most part. Other people have had horrendous childhood, but for the most part, we've had pretty decent childhoods. And the reason they was because the adults took all the heat. We just had the fun. And of course, over the years, with time, stories kind of bend and change, and the picture softens, and so we get emotional about the past. While it's not 100% true, not 100% accurate, that feeling, that gut feeling, that emotional connection, use it. Use it to poke the bear. Use it to guide you. Work your way back to that emotional condition. You're not going to get there exactly. You're not a kid anymore, but use it as an anchor to hold you steady through what's coming up ahead. Next card is the Page of Swords. Pages always change the storyline. It's like a detective mystery. You think you're going in one way, you think you're going after the butler. Turns out not to be the butler. It's the chauffeur that did the killing. Son of a gun. Who would have thought that? It's that kind of a thing. So the Page of Swords, swords are truth, information. Page of Swords says you are deciding, after you make that emotional connection to the past, you're deciding to go back. You're deciding to learn. You're deciding to be honest. You're deciding to center yourself. That's a big job. And finally, we got the Two of Wands. Twos are always, 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 always decisions. Wands are positivity, excitement, joy, enthusiasm. What the Two of Wands says, you're looking to make a better future. You're going to use that memory, that emotional connection to the past, and the decision to open yourself to growing that way, that direction, honesty, to create a better future. It's a big decision. It's a big move, and you're going to have to poke the bear. You're going to have to come to the edge. This is not going to be easy. But your future And the future of those, if you have any children, their future and beyond will depend how we handle this period of singularity. Come to the edge, poke the bear. You have no other choice. Time's up. Thank you very much. I realize this is an investment in time. It's an investment you make that I very much appreciate. Please like and subscribe. Nasty stuff going on the internet. They're using their algorithms in very unique ways just to get rid of sites, get rid of information at will. The battle is on. Come to the edge. Poke the bear. Declare your freedom. Between now and the next time you and I do this tarot thing together, peace and blessings.